was just gonna say greetings. I don't know why. I have no idea. That is weird. I never felt the need to do that. Seriously, I am messed up. Just setting up for this stupid video was insane amounts of work. Hello, fellow YouTube ultra pedal nerds. I'm trying to attempt the impossible. I have right now the two of the new boss pedals, the reverb and the modulation, I don't even know what it's called, RV500 and MD500 here. I just took them out of the box because I'm doing demos, for Thomann, so I have them here. So this is not a sponsored by Boss thing, but it's a I'm really curious kind of thing. So since they're here, and I have the DD500, and I have all the Strymons, why not do the mega video where we look at all of them? Now, of course, the impossible means one of these boxes has enough sounds and enough features to be in a 1 hour video and not even cover everything. So we cannot possibly compare everything and cover everything. And here's my disclaimer. I know the Strymons really well. I actually did the German translations for the manuals for all 3 of them. I've played them, I've used them live. I love my Strymons. But I will try to not in any way be biased. But the bosses, the modulation and the reverb are brand new, and I have not played them. I know the delay a little bit. I've done a video. I've used it, but I'm more familiar with the Strymons. I will not try to let my familiarity with the Strymons get in the way of being, I was going to say offensive. What's the word? Objective. That's the word. Not offensive, objective. So let's bring in. Let's start with the Strymons. Leslie, bring them in and we'll look at them. So we got the Mobius, which is the modulation. We got the Timeline, and we got the Big Sky. Mobius is a modulation, delay, and then Big Sky is the reverb. Now, these have very simple displays. Okay, here you have a, once you touch a knob, nothing happens. Why does nothing happen? That's time. Speed. These don't change. This changes when you, see? Yeah, when you touch the parameter. So they have very clear but very limited displays in terms of visual feedback. The Timeline has direct control over filter, grid, speed and depth of the modulation. The Mobius has direct control over 2 parameters which you can determine. They're usually the ones that, matter the most. So once you touch, let me see. Once you touch one, it shows you tone, and then it shows you plus minus. Speed, depth, and level. This algorithm knob is kind of the same on all of them. And then you have on the reverb, you again have parameter 1 and 2, tone, modulation, and the typical reverb controls. Now, it is very apparent that Boss has strayed from the typical big foot switch kind of concept, and that they've seen the market loves the Strymons. I mean, let's not bullshit around. Boss has seen that Strymon is dominating, and they're copying them. They're trying to be Strymon, but of course, in a Boss way. Meaning, they're not copying the algorithms. It's just the whole idea of what the pedal looks like. Leslie switched to the other pedals, and it's pretty damn clear what they're trying to do, because this look is not a Boss look. The knobs are not Boss knobs. The whole touch both of these to do bank up and bank down. That's Strymon. So, we should possibly wait. I'm missing some lights here because I need to turn the top lights off. That's much better without the glare from the top lights. So, it's very clear that Boss is taking a hint from the market, and they're trying to jump on that, at least design or practical interface wagon. Possibly improving it, especially when it comes to the display. The Boss pedals also have USB, which means there is a chance to upload software easier, which on the Strymons you have to do with MIDI. On one of them, I was successful to do that with the editor software. On two of them, I couldn't. Something doesn't work, so I would have to send them in, blah, blah, blah. The Boss have USB, so that's pretty damn good. They're all stereo. I know that on the... Okay. I know that on the Timeline, if you're not using stereo, you can use the second pair of ins and outs, which then, of course, you're not using, to put something in a loop. So it's actually an effects loop within the pedal to fuzz your delays or something. That's kind of neat. On the Mobius, the second pairs of ins and outs is very clever because it's modulations. You could put your Mobius in one spot of the effects loop, in your effects chain, and then in a second spot. So depending on the program, you can say use in and out A and in and out B, and you could have it one sound before your drives, one sound after your drives. And that is very, very, very cool. I do not know if the Boss does it. Again, not so familiar. Let me check. I cannot tell you. Very likely that's something that you might set up in the settings, because on these Boss units... there we go. When you go to... where is it? Edit. Exit. Here we go. Edit. You can control a million things. These are push buttons, just like on the Strymons. You have a lot of control options, whether it's tap or you can control any parameter. There's definitely a lot more going on in terms of functionality under the hood than on the Strymons. I even think you can change what the buttons do, just like on the ES8. Probably not the most amazing way to do it interface-wise, but how do I do this? Oh, and here these up and down buttons. It's just that I don't like this kind of stuff. But as you can see, there's a lot of control functions. How do I get out of here? Exit. Assign. What can I assign? I can assign switches. I mean, it's crazy. Oh, yeah, these things. Exit. System. Output stereo. Bank mode. Wait. Oh, God. Contrast. I can change the contrast. Bank extension minimum. Knob lock. Cool. Who likes a good knob lock? 96K loop mode. You could even have it in stereo in 48K. Nice. Sampling frequency. Nice, people. So in the settings of the Boss, there's a lot of possibilities in terms of assigning switches, assigning external switches, and doing crazy things that the Strymons do not offer. So I think the Boss have a little bit of an edge there. Money-wise, they are, as far as I know, cheaper. I think they're $349. At least the DD500 was $349. So let's say they're $100, $150 cheaper. The question is, does that really matter? If you're willing to spend $350 and you really want something that's, you know, maybe a little bit more to your liking, not saying the Strymons are, then you'd spend $500. Then the $150 are not gonna make you say, no, I'm gonna stick with the Boss. I really like a Timeline, but I'm gonna... So whether it's $350 or $500, we're already in the Emperor class of pedals, and really, who cares at that point? I'm just saying. So price point, I'm not gonna consider here at all. So I really like the display. I like the fact that you can set up a lot of things. On the other hand, you might get, you know, lost in those functions and not make music. All pros and cons. They pretty much all function kind of the same way. One of the differences, modulation and delay have tap, which of course makes sense. On a Reverb, it doesn't really. So, alternatively, it has 3 presets and not a tap. On the Bosses, you have 2 presets and a tap/control. So I don't quite know what that does or why you would want to tap. I guess we'll find out. We're gonna start comparing some of the algorithms on the modulation. So let's say you can throw all of them away. We spent a good amount of time actually cutting things out and were very annoyed by it. MD500, appear. Awesome. The setup. This insane clean machine, the Quenzel M3, with coil tappability. These Four Seasons pickups are brilliant for spanky cleans. And we're going, if you show the room cam, we're going into the Orange Rocker 32, which is right now... there you go. Which is right now really the only all-tube stereo amp there is. And it's a brilliant one. And I'm miking that with Sennheiser E609s, going into the Universal Audio Apollo Twin. Made a little hole in the table, and the cables are coming. So miking that with an, I don't want to say affordable, but, you know, tabletop interface. So... you are hearing the Boss modulation and the Timeline and the Big Sky. I just turned things on and cool shit happened. So, here's my clean sound. I gotta move over here without moving the mics, which I already did. And we're gonna look at the MD500. A1. They have a lot of choruses kind of like at the bottom of the... They go through the algorithms in bunches. That's a triple chorus. Very nice. Now, disclaimer, I never was a mega fan of the choruses in the Mobius. I think they were okay, but never a chorus that really just like killed me. So I'm gonna turn that off, go to the Mobius. Back to the Boss. I really like number 1. Back to the Strymon. I dialed it in pretty close. I kind of like the lucidity of the Boss a little bit more. I mean, Boss and chorus is kind of, goes hand in hand. It's kind of tough to beat the old, you know, Boss chorus-eye. So, bottom line, all these pedals are pretty brilliant. It's very, very tough to actually say yay or nay. So, I mean, come on. We'll go to the flanger. And let's find the flanger on the Strymon. What we're going to do is, we're just going to go to flanger. Back to the Boss. I had to change my mic level, so it's now hopefully we're good. Totally different. Almost not really comparable. Phaser. To the Strymon. Again, different settings. I would have to dial in for hours now to get exactly the same settings. I have a feeling you could get that. And the boss. So far, I'm liking the boss a lot. Here. If you push down the button and dial, you get more value. We're gonna crank a little bit here. And the Mobius. Yeah, really tough to say. So, what else do we have? Let's go to Dimension. Well, that's probably a chorus. Why does it say user? Ah, rotary. I love rotary. That is very nice. Ultra nice. Let's see where we are here on the Strymon. I don't know how to set up the two different speeds. I probably have to go into a menu. I would almost say equally nice. I have a feeling the boss is a little bit more hi-fi. A little bit more clarity. The Strymon is a little bit rounder. Other than that, pretty much head-to-head here. And, oh, yeah, well, we're on the, oh, wait, no, we got two of them. Go to the boss, please. Filter, I mean, you know, Strymon also has a filter. Let's go to the Strymon filter. That's almost impossible here. Come on. Again, I would have to set it up to be exactly the same way, which I really can't. Let's go to some of the weirder effects if I can find them. Okay, slicer. Slicer. On the boss. On the Strymon, that is called Paedon Tremolo. And you can actually set that up with what wave shape you want. If you do square, you have that slicer sound. And you can actually program different patterns. So that's all there. Back to the boss. What is overtone? That's a POG type thing, and the Strymon does not have that. And it does it really well. Well done, boss. Okay, other than that, I don't see anything weird here. We have vibes. Oh, we already had the vibe. We have tremolo, flame to phaser, tremolos. Okay, so boss has one or two things that are a little bit out of the realm of the normal, which would be, of course, the overtone and the slicer. Now, Strymon always kind of goes a little bit, I would call it in the creative area. So what we're gonna go to the Strymon, Leslie. One thing the Strymon has is a formant filter, which does I-O-U, and I love that thing. Here. And that shit's really cool for drive sounds. So that I really like on the Strymon. The other thing that the Strymon has is I love on the vintage tremolo the harmonic mode, because that has a little bit of vibe in it. I already had that in the Flint and I loved it in the Flint. So that's something that I know on the Strymon's cool. Paedon Trem. The auto swell also is a nice feature. Beautiful, of course, if we got, delays and reverbs behind it. And the Destroyer will do exactly that, bit crushing. filtering effects like what is that? No. Oh, Destroyer, here we go. You have like scratchy effects and then the quadrature is a ring modulator, which the boss also has. Or something like that. So, I would say for the modes that they share, I might give the boss this much of an advantage in terms of sound, because it feels a little bit, let's call it brighter. That's really all that there is. But the slicer is kind of cool. I know that the boss slicer is a very cool pedal, so it's nice that it has that. But for the modes that are there in the Strymon as on first glance the boss doesn't have, I love my harmonic tremolo. I have used those destroyer sounds. The auto swell is very nice to get those delays happening. So as usual in my experience, the Strymon has one or two modes that others don't dare to do. Moving on to the delays, which means throw this thing away, Leslie. I'll drink something while you shuffle pedals around. Oh, you're fast. The Strymons are a tiny bit tinier. Their boss are a bit bigger. I don't know if that matters. So here are the boss digital delays. Here are the Strymon digital delays. Obviously, there's a lot of setting it up and all that stuff. I have a feeling the boss, again, is brighter, but not as full and not as fat. Again, all might be a setup thing, but that's kind of how I had the feeling of the DD500 before. High fidelity, not a lot of warmth. Let's call it warmth. It's got as much warmth, but then it gets brittle. I don't know. Analog. D-bucket. Let's go D-bucket. So, on the boss. And to the Strymon. And boss. Boss is more rhythmical, more attacky. Okay, wow. Parallel word, that's a dual delay. That's very nice. On the Strymon, we have a dual delay. And I can't possibly set this up now to sound exactly like the boss, because that's just, we don't have that. Both of them have cool sounds. Leslie, hier und da kannst du mal kurz auf die Side-Camera gehen. Cool. Both of them have a pattern delay. And the Strymon, no idea what pattern is in there. Okay, do we have a tape delay anywhere? Vintage digital, vintage, no, we don't want that. Shimmer, let's go Shimmer and compare that, which on the Strymon is called Ice, in one of my favorite modes. And to the Strymon. Yeah, Ice here. Of course, a totally different sound now, whatever. For me, that Ice mode, the pitched notes sound more natural than on most other delays. Same with the DD500. You can kind of feel that it's a pitchy, shifty thing. On the Strymon, I've never feel like that. It just feels as if there's, you know, stars all of a sudden in the sky. There we go. Yeah, so I'm sorry, the Strymon wins with the Ice mode hands down. So the boss has a slow attack mode, which is very nice for swells. The Strymon has that as well, and it's called a swell. Back to the Strymon, thank you, Leslie. So they both work. What does the boss has? This is one of the special things on the boss. Go to the boss, Leslie, thank you. That's the Terra Echo. That's one of the modes that is unique to it. Let's look at some of the unique modes. Unique! What does this have? Filter. Oh, filter. I love filter delays. Very few companies do it. Very nice. We're gonna dial in a filter here. Can't really say which one is better or worse here. And then we have the Terra, standard, and what else do we have? Dual pattern, reverse, SF, sound effects. What does that do? On the boss, please. More like a lo-fi kind of thing. Strymon has it as well. Back to the Strymon, and we do lo-fi. You know, you can probably set up similar effects. So really, so what the Strymon has is a ducking delay, which is a delay where when you're playing, it gets ducked down, and when you stop playing, it comes up. So it simply doesn't trash your mix. The other thing that the Strymon has is the reverse dual. This is all pretty much the same thing. Filter, we had the Tremolo Delay, which I think is way damn cool. Because it does tremolos only on the delays. The Strymon definitely has one up here on the boss, because that's a freaking cool mode. Which I don't see on, I don't know. But then again, the Terra Echo was kind of cool on the boss, so you decide. Moving on. Leslie, throw that shit away. Moving on to the Reverb, which the boss is called the RV500. I gotta say, name-wise, Strymon's a little bit more original there. Numbers, letters. But, you know, that's not what you buy. You buy the sound. Here we go. We're gonna do Hall. I'm gonna dial in with Hall. Here we go. So Hall on the boss. And the Strymon. Leslie is so... What would I do without the girl? My preamp's freaking out again. Boss? Low and high is nice. This is a tone knob, but the boss has a low and high, which is easy and quickly dialed in. Back to the Strymon. Boss. It's a hall, people. Both work. Plate. And Strymon. A bit more mix. And bass. I can't freaking tell the difference. Now it gets interesting. Shimmer mode. Gotta give it a boss. That is pretty phenomenal. So we'll go to the shimmer setting here, see what happens on the Strymon. Wow, back to the boss. You know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna skip all the modes that are the same because I'm gonna say they are too close to call. So let's look at the differences rather than how they do the same thing. Okay? So on the boss, what do we have? Early reflection, which is kind of like a probably reflections kind of thing. Non-linear, they have the same thing. That's a gated one. Sound effects, what is that? Whatever that's doing, that is absolutely a phenomenal sound. Way to go, freaking boss! Yeah. Also cool. More sound effects. Very nice sounds, gotta say that. What's SRV? I have no idea. Also need Space Echo. That's the one I wanted because that looks like another one of the special ones. Other than that, we've had it. Space Echo, it's a freaking Roland Space Echo. RE201 tape delay with built-in spring. Okay, major points there for Roland Boss, because that's one of the most coveted sounds in my repertoire. Roland Space Echo, RE201 tape delay and spring. That's neat. Gotta say that. With the modulation, the wow and flutter from the tape. Okay, RE500 moving way ahead. Here, now let's look at the things that it doesn't have. Strymon! It's got room hall plate springs. Well, it had that. We just slow something. It was under sound effects. Bloom, which apparently is something that some of the reverbs in the 80s did. It comes up in the back. You can, of course, say when that comes. So yeah, for me that's a pretty cool reverb because it keeps your guitar pretty clean and then fills it up. Similar is the Cloud. We all know the Cloud, but that's not that Cloud. Cloud is one of the reasons why you buy a Strymon Big Sky. Then there's the Choral, which is similar to the formant on the Mobius. It sends your reverb through a vocal filter. So if you ever wanted your guitar to sing like angels, that's how you do that. Shimmer Magneto is pretty much a reverb done with tape. It's like, you know, tape machines, short delays to create reverb. Don't know if that's something you really need. Okay, it's not really a Space Echo replacement. not too shabby either. Non-linear, they have that gated reverb and stuff like this, and reflections is a natural kind of a room. So, yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So, what can we say? It's difficult. The boss lineup can definitely impress with a few modes that the Strymons don't have. Namely the Space Echo mode right here. Also, those sound effects were really damn cool. The DD500 has the Terra Echo, which is pretty neat. And over here, did we have anything? Yeah, that overtone, which the Mobius doesn't do. You don't have those POG type of, octavy sounds. So that's absolutely very nice. So they have modes that the Strymons don't have, and if you need those modes, the Strymons are a no-go for you. On the other hand, the Strymons have modes that the bosses don't have, and I think they have more modes that the bosses don't have. On the other hand, do you need them? Do you need a choral sound on your delay? Do you need a choral sound, on your reverb, and all this? Are these just extra algorithms that are pointless? Me personally, I've used them and I love them. I love my Tremolo Delay. That is for me what makes the Strymon special, those special modes. I always say, they're a little bit more creative and they bring a little bit more creativity out of you as a player because these modes are not your standard reverb. What the Big Sky does with its formant mode and its cloud mode and its bloom mode, no other reverb does. So that's to be said something for the Strymons. But maybe you don't need those modes at all. And maybe you love the idea that a Space Echo is built into your RV500. And maybe you do want to save the $150 and get a boss. Maybe you want extra control. Maybe you want a USB port. Fuck, I don't know. Bottom line, they are all pretty brilliant boxes. And you have to decide if the extra modes count for you. Is there a change in sound quality? Do the Strymons sound better? I don't know. They sound a bit rounder. But we're talking about the tiniest bit. They sound a bit rounder. The bosses sound a little bit more hi-fi-ish. A little bit, but really not. No. I liked the chorus from the boss a little bit more than from the Strymon. I never used the Mobius really for choruses. It was more rotary and vibe, which I use, where the boss could totally convince. So, yeah, you didn't actually think I would tell you either one is better, right? Because that would be stupid. I don't know if this told you anything, but there you go. That's my comparison of, the three top-of-the-line boxes from Strymon and Boss. I hope this did something for you. Links below. Thanks, Leslie, for doing a phenomenal job of juggling 6 big-ass delays. 6 big-ass boxes. And thanks for watching. Animals at the end. Bye-bye.
Hello, I'm a handsome prince and I live in a fairy tale land. I know really lots of things, let me show to you, my friend. Hello, I'm a crazy spoon and I live in a cup of tea. And my only friend is the moon, every night she's there for me.